Hi everyone. Today we will discuss about suspension systems. In this class, we will see what is suspension system and what are the different types of suspension systems involved in the automobile engineering. What type of suspension systems we are using in that automobile vehicles, and what are those different suspension systems, and what is the working procedure of that suspension system, and what are its main categories and characteristics and properties we will discuss in today's class. In yesterday's class, we will discuss about the introduction of the unit 4, that is a suspension system and braking system and the electrical system. That is overall introduction we will learn in the previous classes, and also the introduction of suspension system and objectives of suspension system we already discussed. So today we will discuss about the suspension system. In that suspension system, there are mainly categorized into two categories. That is rigid axle suspension system and independent suspension system. These are two main categories in the suspension systems of the automobile vehicles. In these two main types, the subclassifications are available in these two types. So we will learn about those suspension systems. First of all, we can see what is suspension system and why it is very useful to the automobile vehicles. If we take any type of automobile vehicle, there has a compulsory they have involved one suspension system, that is individual suspension system or rigid axle suspension system. Any type of suspension system, compulsory one type of suspension system is placed in the automobile vehicles. For example, bikes or cars or planes, uh, trucks, any type of automobile vehicles you can take. uh, uh, there has a compulsory one suspension system is placed in that automobile vehicle. Okay, so the suspension system linkage system of some sort is needed to enable the wheel to move up and down vertically. In that suspension system means there are different connections. It is individual suspension system and rigid axle suspension system. In that, why should we place that suspension system to that automobile vehicles? It is to move the vehicle moves up and down because of in that roads there are uneven roads are occurred, and damped roads are occurred, speed breaker roads are occurred, some dips are occurred on the uh, different roads and different areas. Based upon that different roads, the vehicle is running on that road. mm, it absorbs the different shocks and different vibrations. Then the vehicle should react and should get the different vibrations and different shocks. So those vibrations and those shocks we can control by using this type of suspension system. So that is the main thing we are using suspension system in the automobile vehicles. Okay, you can see what is suspension system. Suspension is the term given to the system of springs, shock absorbers and linkages that connects a vehicle to its wheels. Suspension system, it is uh, in the term of given to the system of springs are shock absorbers or linkages. The shocks are vibrations. These type of suspension springs or shock absorbers or any other different types of suspension system should take that shocks and vibrations and to run the vehicle very smoothly on the road. That is the main thing we are using suspension system of the automobile vehicles. And next one, serve a dual purpose, contributing to the car's handling and braking. We serve the dual purpose. That means uh, individual suspension system is available and rigid axle. That means only one suspension system is available. we are placing individual suspension system or rigid axle suspension system, dual purpose. It is contributing to the car's handling and braking. So these are the two main things in the suspension system. One is car's handling and next one is braking system. These two are mainly depends upon the suspension system. Car's handling, overall car or overall any type of automobile vehicle should handle based upon the suspension system. There are dips occurred. Automatically we can apply the brakes or we can decrease the acceleration. So these amounts of different applying different conditions should apply to that automobile vehicle. The suspension system good working and proper manner, we can give um, good a good ride on that road. Okay, so what are the dual purpose main things in this? The car's handling and braking system. So these two are very helpful to the suspension system. And next one, it protects the vehicle itself and any cargo or luggage from the damage and wear. It protects the vehicle itself. Suppose in that inner side of the vehicle there are passengers or a driver or a car. So in that safe journey we are placing a good suspension system. Because of the uneven roads occur, high amount of vibrations and a high amount of shocks are uh, taking to that vehicle on that roads. These suspension system we are placing, only the shocks and vibrations should not come to the um, passengers or driver. Only that amount of shocks and vibrations is stop the suspension system, that is the springs or shock absorbers. Any type of suspension system should stop that shocks and vibrations. Okay, so it protects the vehicles itself, passengers or driver or luggage, any type of things. We should not damage the vehicle body and we should not get the wear resistance of that body. These are all uses of the suspension system we are using the automobile vehicles. And next one, what is the main purpose of the suspension system we are using in the automobile vehicles? So the main purpose of the suspension system in that automobile vehicles, it supports the weight. So the suspension system, you can see the springs. You can see the springs and wishbone type. There are different types of suspension systems we are using. Suppose it is a individual suspension system. Individual suspension system. He is placing springs. He is placing springs. It is the Mac in this type MacPherson strut system. What type of suspension system it is? MacPherson strut type of suspension system. You can see there are springs is placed in the wheels. Springs is placed in the wheels. These springs should control the weights and should bear the overall weights. Okay, so supports the weight supports. We are adding any amount of luggage or passengers sit on the car. These are those overall weight should carries these springs. Okay, and next one, it provides a smooth ride. This suspension system gives a smooth ride. In that smooth ride occur, we are applying brakes and we are applying braking conditions and braking conditions and overall vehicle protection. Overall vehicle protection, that means in time we are applying the brakes, in time we are decrease the acceleration, any type of dips are occur or any type of uneven roads occur. So uh, those different properties we will maintain in time, and allows rapid cornering without extreme body roll. Rapid cornering without extreme body roll, and keeps tires in firm contact with the road. So we are placing suspension system. We are placing a good suspension system on that vehicle. Compulsory, the tires are contact with the road. Why? Because uh, uh, the tires are not contact with that road. The steering is not in activate position. Okay, we are applying the steering, but the wheels are not rotating. Okay, that's why the tires compulsory, the front tires, wherever the steering system we have placed in the automobile vehicle, the vehicle steels, the vehicle wheels are compulsory contact with the roads. That's why we are getting a good suspension system and we are getting a good ride on that road. And next one allows the front wheel to turn side to side for steering. So the suspension system we are placing the vehicle, it allows to turn side to side for steering and works with the steering system to keep the wheels in correct alignment. So proper alignment also uh, useful for this placing of suspension system. Isolate passenger and cargo from vibrational shocks. So the vibrations or shocks are getting on the roads. The suspension system should control those shocks and vibrations. Okay, these are all purpose of the suspension system. And next one, what are the desirable characters of this suspension system? Those characters of the suspension systems, it is minimize response to external disturbances. So to minimize the external disturbances, that means vibrations occur, shocks are getting on that uneven roads. These type of external disturbances should decrease the suspension system and ensure satisfactory control response characteristics. It ensure satisfactory control response characteristics to control the overall vehicle by using this type of suspension system for getting a good ride on the roads. And next one, ensure no major or uncontrollable instabilities. Uncontrollable. That means sometimes the vehicle should uncontrollable to the uneven roads. In that time, we are placing a good suspension system. We are not damaged of the vehicle body, and the passengers are not damaged any type of parts on that human body, and the luggage is very safe. We are placing a good suspension system of the uncontrollable instabilities of the vehicle. And next one, provide satisfactory information flow to the driver. So the overall vehicle condition should placed on the driver hands only. So the flow or the running of the vehicle, the overall control is placed on the uh, driver hands. Okay, so driver should carefully handle the vehicle. You can get a good ride on the road. Remain consistent in behavior with changing environmental factors such as rough surfaces, change in surface coefficient. Consistent behavior with changing environmental factors. We can change the environmental factors. That means the rough surfaces are changing surface coefficient. We can change these surfaces. We can get a good ride. Okay, these are the desirable characteristics. So coming to the what are the main types of suspension systems? It is uh, rigid suspension system and independent suspension system. Those are the two different suspension systems. One is rigid suspension system. The suspension system, it is fixed rigidly on the axle. Suppose it is one wheel. It is one wheel. These wheels are connected to this axle. These wheels are connected to this axle. So the suspension system directly connected to this axle. The suspension system is directly connected to this axle. It is not connected individually. It is directly connected to that axle. Okay, it is rigid suspension system or rigid axle suspension system. And next one, independent suspension system. In this independent suspension system, the suspension system should connect the uh, individually of that wheels. Okay, individually of that wheels. It is the individual type. The system should not connect the axle. The suspension system should connect the individual of the automobile vehicle wheels. Okay, so what are the main types of suspension systems? It is rigid axle suspension system and independent suspension system. And next one, you can see what are the subtypes of independent suspension system and non-independent suspension system or a rigid axle suspension system. You can see what are those independent suspension systems we are using in the automobile vehicles. One is MacPherson strut type suspension system. MacPherson strut type suspension system. And next one, wishbone type suspension system. Next one, wishbone type suspension system. And the third one, versatile guide, vertical guide suspension system. Vertical guide suspension system. And fourth one, trailing link suspension system. Trailing link suspension system. And next last one, swing off axles. Swing off axles. These are all independent suspension systems we are using automobile vehicles. And next one, non-independent suspension system or rigid axle suspension system. You can see what are those rigid axle suspension systems. It is solid axle leaf spring system and a solid axle coil spring suspension system. These two are the rigid axle suspension system. One is solid axle leaf spring suspension system and another one is solid axle coil spring suspension system. And also there are two different types of suspension system. It is air suspension system and hydroelastic suspension system. So these are all different types of suspension system, and these are all different classifications of the suspension system. In this class, we will see what is the independent suspension system and what is non-independent suspension system. You can see what are those types of suspension systems. It is rigid axle suspension system and independent suspension system. In this non-independent suspension system or a rigid axle suspension system, it has both right and left wheel attached to the same solid axle. So that one solid axle, you can observe the first diagram. You can observe the first diagram. There are two wheels. One is a left wheel and another one is right wheel. This left wheel and right wheel is connected through one axle. That is one rigid solid axle. One rigid solid axle. This rigid solid axle has, we are connecting the suspension system. Those are different coil springs or any type of springs are used to connect the rigid axle directly to the um, vehicle axle. Okay, it has both right and left wheel attached to the same solid axle. When one wheel hits a bump in the road, when one wheel hits a bump in the road, you can observe the second diagram. If there is a bump, if there is a bump, so in that bump, one wheel is upon this bump, one wheel is upon this bump, one wheel hits a bump. So the wheel is hits the bump in that road. Its upward movement causes a slight tilt of the other wheel. A slight tilt of the other wheel. That means uh, there are whenever the wheel is hits the bump on the road, its upward movement. The wheel gets upward movement. You can observe it is the flat surface. The tire is contact with the road. The tire is not contact with the road. The tire is contact with the bump. The tire is contact with the bump. Okay, so there is a gap occurred. There is a gap occurred in the tire and the road surface. Okay, so automatically this tilt or this vibration or this shock automatically falls on the other wheel. Automatically a small amount of shock or small amount of vibration is also falls on the other wheel of the automobile vehicle. So that is the non-independent suspension system or a rigid axle suspension system. And you can see independent suspension system allows one wheel to move up and down with minimal effect to the other. Only there is a bump occurred. You can see this independent suspension system. The springs are attached to the independently to the wheels. Independently to the wheels. You can see the wheel axle is at the wheel separate axle. So in that separate axle, the springs are connected separately to that wheels. The springs are connected to that separately to that wheels. There is a bump occurred. So in that road, there is a bump occurred. The tire hits the bump automatically. It should get some vibrations or some shocks. So in the other wheel, it should not fall. The small amount of vibrations or shocks, it's not fall. Only just a little bit amount of shocks or vibrations fall on that other wheel. Okay, so nowadays we are using this amount of independent suspension system to that automobile vehicle. So you can see, you can observe the diagram, what is independent suspension and what is non-independent independent system, and what is the arrangement of the suspension system to that wheels. What are the components? You can see in that independent suspension system, the other wheel not affected. Other wheel is not affected. Wheel pushed by upward direction. In independent suspension system, the suspension systems are placed in the independently to that wheels. There is a bump occurred automatically. The wheel moves upward to the road. The other wheel of the vehicle, it should not affected. It should not get any shocks or you should not get any vibrations. Those amount of different effects are not affected to that other wheel of the independent suspension system. Only that amount of only uh, who will is hit the bump, only that amount of wheel should affect the independent suspension system. Under the non-independent suspension system, the suspension system is connected to the axle. So in that axle, there is a bump occurred, the wheel is hit that bump automatically. uh, uh, that wheel moves upward directions to that road surface. Also, the other wheel is affected to that bump on the road, to that non-independent suspension system. So other wheel is also tilted to that suspension system. Those are the different types of suspension system diagrams. Okay, so you can see in detail about the dependent rigid axle suspension system or independent type of suspension system. The rigid axle suspension system, the wheels on the left and right side are connected rigidly. The wheels, the two wheels of the automobile vehicle is connected rigidly to that one axle. Uh, it is work together and thus remain parallel to each other regardless of the body or wheel motion. Generally, generally the dependent system uses a solid axle that spans across the entire width of the vehicle. Entire width of the vehicle. You can see that dependent suspension system. Uh, if there is a bump occur, automatically, if there is a bump occur, automatically the two wheels gets that bump and affected the two wheels of the suspension system. And you can see the dependent system uses a solid axis that spans across the entire width of the vehicle. So the axle beam is located under the front of car and it is kept in place by leaf springs and shock absorbers. The axle holds the wheels parallel to each other and perpendicular to its axle. You can see what he told of this dependent suspension system. There is a bump occurred and there is a potholes are occurred. You can see in this dependent suspension system, one wheel is affected to that bump, automatically the height of the wheel should be increased. That means the height is changed. If the road surface to that wheel tire surface, uh, the height is developed on the road surface to that tire surface. Okay, and it is in that bump occurred, automatically this rigid axial suspension system that affect that shocks and that vibration is falls on the another wheel of the automobile vehicle, another wheel of the automobile vehicle. So this effect is occurred in the dependent suspension system. And you can see and you can observe different another diagram. There is a pothole. A pothole is occurred on the one road. Um, one wheel is dipped on that plot hole. One wheel is dipped on that pothole. Automatically, it will generate some amount of shocks and some amount of vibrations. Um, these shocks and vibrations is passed through this axle, and it will get another wheel is also affected to that shocks and vibrations, because of only we are connecting there is a rigid axle suspension system. That means there is not individual suspension system. That means it is connected any type of springs or shock absorbers connected directly to that axle. We should not connect it independently to that suspension system. As both of the car wheels are linked to that single beam, they respond to road conditions as a pair when the terrain is uneven. One wheel rises over a bump or dips into a pothole. The other wheel is also uh, in the opposite direction, either down or up. The wheels would assume the position as depicted and the axle will become inclined. So the axle position is inclined. You can observe, first of all, the tires are contact with the roads. The axle should be parallel to that road. The axle should be parallel to that road. Whenever the bump or pothole occurred, automatically the axle should get inclined motion, inclined position. Okay, the body of the wheel tends to tilt over and the driver has a difficulty in driving further. So, indeed has a dependent suspension system. Driver should take some difficulty to operate the vehicle in this rigid axial suspension system. And next one, what are the advantages of these dependent suspension systems? It include, it is very simpler and more economical in construction and manufacturing due to less number of parts. In this dependent suspension system, there is very economical and very simple uh, connection to that dependent suspension system. Why? Because there is a not high amount of parts included in this suspension system, and no changes in track width, toe in, and camber during spring deflections. These aspects result in reduced tire wear and improved handling and traction on icy and slippery road surfaces. And no change in wheel position as the vehicle lends in a turn. Obviously, then there is a constant setting up of side force of the tires. So these are all different advantages of the dependent suspension system. You can see their use in mainstream cars does not find favor due to the following reasons: greater unsprung weight, the require steady heavy leaf springs and a heavy suspension linkages to keep their wheels on the road, tendency for a wheel to hop when traveling on rough road surfaces at a high speed rates. Okay, these are the different properties and different advantages of the dependent suspension system. And next, you can see what are the independent suspension system. In this independent suspension system, you can observe the suspension system should connect the wheels independently. The independent suspension system does not use a single axle to connect both sides of the vehicle, and such as wheels react separately to road conditions. If a wheel hits an irregularity, it would not upset the opposite wheel on the same axle. Both the wheels remain vertically even when a wheel is not bumped and the position of the axle is not affected. So in this independent suspension system, only one axle is not used in this independent suspension system. There are uh, different axles are connected to this, separate axles are connected to this wheels of this independent suspension system, and the suspension system should connect the wheels independently to that vehicle. Okay, so there is a bump occur or there is a pothole occur, only that amount of wheel should react the suspension system, and another wheel is not affected to that vibrations or shocks. It's not affected to that suspension system. So you can see what are the notable characteristics of the independent suspension system. It permits a bigger deflection of the wheel without uh, detrimental effect on the steering, more accurate control of travel path as the gyroscopic action is required, better road holding even when one wheel bounces up and down on a bump, the other wheels stay in contact with the road surface, low value of unsprung mass, and this reduces tire scrub and hence reduced tire wear. It provides superior ride quality and handling stability. These are the different desirable characteristics of the independent suspension system. You can see this diagram, increased roll resistance of the independent suspension system. It should not get height of the tire surface and road surface. It should increase the roll resistance. That means the length of the wheel should be increased. We are placing the independent suspension system of the vehicle. So thank you. So these are different types of suspension systems we are used in the automobile vehicles, and we know about the rigid axle suspension system and independent type of suspension system. In next class, we will see what are the different types of rigid axle suspension system. That means shock absorbers as wishbone type. Those are all different types of independent suspension system. Those topics we will discuss in next class. So thank you guys.